Welcome back to the 7th episode of the Benchwarmers podcast. We are your hosts, Jacob.
Sam.
And Baden.
And today we're going to be giving you the rundown on the latest Cleveland sports news, as well as some trivia and Benchwarmers. So, without further ado, Sam and Baden, you want to get us started on the Cavs news?
Happily, but before we start, bring the mic a little bit closer to my mouth right now. Follow us on everything. I know that probably 90% of you guys are gonna click off right after I say this, but it's a minute. It's a minute 38, so I'll say it now. Follow us on Twitter, Benchwarmers216. We have a TikTok now, don't we?
Yes. Benchwarmers _podcast.
All of that linked in the description.
Yes, indeed. So subscribe, hit that like button, notifications turned on too, because the next one you don't want to miss. So thank you for listening to my public service announcement. And on to the Cavs.
All right. So,
Peyton, you want to start us off for the Cavs?
Well, if you've been living under a rock, then you would know that the Cavs are on a 5-game winning streak.
Yep.
It is.
They're first since LeBron left. So
They're first since Dad, LeBron.
Oh my gosh. Well,
LeBron is basically dad around here. But yeah, 5-game win streak. First time since LeBron left. Big deal. Big deal.
I think you just look at this team, you just see so much excitement. It's so much fun to watch this team and all the young talent that is on there. I think it's just especially different because for the first time since the 90s, we're watching a team without LeBron in Cleveland that's good.
Yeah.
So I think it's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that the biggest difference you can see, obviously, is Kevin Love. So I'm not sure if everybody should remember last year Kevin Love looked super disengaged with the team, like that couple game stretch where he turned the ball over consistently because he was so frustrated. This year, oh my God, does he look amazing? I mean,
yeah,
he said it before, he's been on record saying it this year that he's having a lot of fun. Like he enjoys leading this team as a veteran, and he's okay with coming off the bench. Looks absolutely incredible. Talking about that 5-game win streak, Cavs have outscored opponents by 100 points over the last 5 games, which is the best differential since December of 2008.
That's crazy.
The first LeBron stint.
Yeah, I heard. Also have a stat. They've won 30 games by 10 or more points, which leads the league and is the most since LeBron was on this team. So it's not that they're just winning games; they're winning games convincingly, and with one of the hardest schedules so far this season.
Teams like the Kings and the T-Wolves are games that will be close or even losses in the couple years after LeBron left. Now we're turning it around and beating those teams with ease, and then we beat up on the bottom of the league, which used to be our only guaranteed wins, such as the Rockets. Thank you, Rockets. We love that you're horrible.
Love the Rockets organization around here.
The Rockets, just absolutely magical. There were so many Rockets fans talking trash on Twitter before that game. They're like, "Let Mobley play, saying Goon better." God, the reason that Okoro's in the reason that Okoro have put the reason that 3 of your players are in protocol is because Okoro dunked all over them. All of them. God. I mean, talking about Isaac Okoro, oh, that was smooth. That was seamless. Sorry.
That dunk was amazing.
That dunk was absolutely insane. And then he has to turn around to do the mean mug because he dunked over 3 of them, so it's 180 degrees.
It's crazy,
Okoro, before he was put into COVID protocols, was really hitting his stride. Over the last 4 games, he had 20 points, 18 points, 20 points, and 16 points. All wins. And on 70% shooting. Those are Jared Allen numbers.
That's
and
crazy.
He's doing this as a 6'5" shooting guard. See a lot of the consensus around the Cavs Twitter and Cavs Reddit, if Okoro can become a reliable corner 3 shooter and slasher, team is on another level.
And you haven't even talked about the reason they drafted him 5th overall was because of his defense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was a quote from JB last year. I'm not sure if anybody else remembers it. He's like, reason that he's not producing on offense is because we're putting him up against the toughest guys to guard in the league. It was like a 3-game stretch where he guarded LeBron, Kawhi, and I don't know, like Jimmy Butler. Look, obviously you can't lock those guys down, but he did a decent job at least slowing them down a little bit. He's adding the offensive part to his game right now. It's all coming together. It's beautiful.
Okoro is so much more than just a 3-and-D guy. Like, really, Sexton's injury has given him the chance to shine. And I think a lot of Cavs fans, myself included, owe him an apology. Because I was beginning to doubt. I was beginning to doubt Okoro.
I would never doubt.
He's proven me wrong.
Your Okoro apology form right now. Unbelievable. That's so crazy. Talking about somebody else who's had a big chance to shine since Sexton got injured. Oh my god, these transitions are on point today. Sorry. I wanted to talk about the potential for the Cavs having 2 All-Stars. Just to preface it, if you had told me in the year 2021, in the year 2016, in 2021 the Cavs would have 2 All-Stars, the first 2 names on the list would have been LeBron and Kyrie. Spoiler alert, it's neither of those guys. Is Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen. So let's talk about Darius Garland first. Anybody else have anything to add before I start?
I just want to say, I think I said this before, the improvement from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 for Garland is an improvement I don't think I've ever seen before. You could have argued he was the worst starting player in the league his rookie year, and now I think he's been a top 7 or 8 guard in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I mean, he's really made a jump. It's great to see his turnaround. He's just another example of a player who's improved as the Cavs have improved. He seems like he's just getting better. That's what I have to say on Darius Garland.
Yeah, so I mean, besides from the eye test, it's not like his stats are gonna tell us anything different. Darius Garland is averaging 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 7.5 assists on 59% true shooting. 59%. That's not too shabby, and 39% from 3, which is just above league average. There's always at least like 1 shot per game. He like chucks it up from 30 feet, and it's like an arcing shot. It just it has the cleanest
Magical.
sound as it hits the net.
Magical.
Absolutely incredible. I know for sure that the Cavs will have at least 1 All-Star. I couldn't tell you if it's going to be Darius Garland or Jarrett Allen. Darius Garland is making such a convincing case for himself. I think it's hard to not at least put him on the ballot.
I think Allen is probably more likely to make it just because there's so many elite guards. But I also think Garland is deserving of it.
Yeah, so let's talk about our other All-Star contender, Jarrett Allen. 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks on 72%. I repeat, 72% true shooting.
That's ridiculous. That's Wilt Chamberlain numbers. Not numbers, but efficiency.
Not to that extent, but go ahead.
I mean, there's a case that Jarrett Allen all time is better than Wilt. I mean, you look at
there's a case.
You look at the shooting efficiency. You look at the level of competition. You gotta think about it. You gotta say, maybe Jarrett Allen is better.
Wilt Chamberlain never touched the same court as LeBron James.
Exactly. I was about to say, did Wilt Chamberlain ever block LeBron James? I didn't think so.
Who would win in a 1v1? Wilt or Jarrett Allen? It'd be Jarrett Allen.
Right now.
Jarrett
Allen or Wilt Chamberlain. I gotta say, I think it's Jarrett Allen.
He said right now.
Jarrett, you guys know that
Wilt Chamberlain is like 80 years old, and
Wilt Chamberlain is dead. He's been dead for 20 years.
That's why it was so funny because he's dead.
I am so sorry. I would really like to apologize. It's just
Yo,
like a couple episodes when I said Chase Young is having a down season and I didn't realize he tore his ACL.
yeah, Wilt Chamberlain died like 25 years ago, dog.
1999, and I did not realize that.
It's all right.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
back to Jared Allen. He's having a career year. When he was traded to the Cavs, he was not the happiest about it. I mean, you got it. You really had to sympathize with him. He was on the Nets for all of their years of being awful, waiting for the trade to pay off. Finally, they make it all work, and now he's gone. It's understandable to not be happy with your new team, and he didn't look happy or did look like he was playing with passion the first few weeks of his Cavs career in early 2021. And this season, he's come out and looked incredible and looked like he's really enjoying it.
70% from the field, by the way, trails only two people: three-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert and Rashawn Holmes. So is he more like Rudy Gobert or is he more like Rashawn Holmes? And I think we all know the answer.
Yeah,
It's Rudy Gobert. It's not Rashawn Holmes. In case anybody didn't know the answer, it's Rudy Gobert.
mm.
Let's see. Who do we play tomorrow night? Gotta think. I guess we'll do a quick pre. Oh, I think we played the Bucks. Yeah, we played the Bucks tomorrow.
Right, that's gonna be a good game because the last time we played them, they beat us. It didn't look too close, and we've been on a great streak since then. So I think it'll be a good game.
The last time we lost by 8, we played a terrible first half, and then we came storming back in the second half. Hopefully, Mobley's back for this game. He was dealing with some right hip soreness, and we really need him to try and defend against Giannis. I mean, Giannis is just so.
You can't really defend against Giannis, but Giannis isn't gonna put up 100, so you gotta lock down the other option.
Is anybody gonna put up 100 besides the corpse of Wilt Chamberlain?
Yo,
Sam.
yo,
Oh, man.
yo.
No way you just said that.
No way, bro.
God.
Dog. Hey, whoever's watching this, clip that.
There's
right?
no one watching this. That's the best part.
except for Jacob's Pop Pop. Shout out Pop Pop.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, moving on. Going back, I guess, the preview for the Bucks game tomorrow night. It should be a good game. We need Mobley to be there. And I just want to know you guys' picks. Who's gonna lead the Cavs in scoring tomorrow night?
Ooh.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna just keep it and say Darius Garland. I'm not gonna try to say anybody. I think Darius Garland scores 30, but in a losing effort.
Disagree, actually. I think it's gonna be stud. I do mean stud. Kevin Love. Kevin Love's been absolutely insane over this 5-game win streak.
Dude, Love's 3-point. Just the way he shoots threes. It's so mesmerizing to watch. Love is so good, dude.
I think what's crazy about Love's game is the way that he's transformed it. Like he's adapted so well with the foul rules, because I'm not sure. Like last year, he was all about the pump fake he was all about the pump fake 3 and lean into the contact, right? And he get called every time, and he doesn't miss his free throws. This year, he's actually getting people with the pump fake. He's pump faking, and takes one dribble and one step to the side. It's a green light. It's just absolutely incredible to watch. Like such a savvy veteran, maybe future I would put him in the Hall of Fame. If Kyle Lowry goes into the Hall of Fame, I think it's hard to say that Kevin Love doesn't go into the Hall of Fame.
I guess you could say
if
that.
Love hadn't spent the first 4 years of his career on a poverty franchise,
or 6 or 7.
really?
Yeah, he was
on the Wolves for a while.
I mean, yeah, I would say I think because you gotta he had a better prime than Kyle Lowry, and then on top of that he has a ring. I don't know if he's Hall of Fame caliber, but if you're gonna say like I know some people may say I don't know if Kyle Lowry's Hall of Fame caliber. I don't think he
I
is.
would say I think it's hard to say that
I
Kyle
don't think
Lowry.
I don't think Kevin Love is either, but he's a better pick than Lowry.
Yeah. Seeing Love just step into his new role has been so good for the Cavs. But
Absolutely.
another former Timberwolves player who has made a pretty big, impact on the Cavaliers. Ricky
Spanish
Rubio
Jesus.
coming back from a couple of down years and suddenly becoming, you know,
6-man of the year contender.
I mean, yeah, he's maybe not even a 6-man of the year contender because he's not a 6-man anymore. He's playing starter minutes. He's
Starter
balling.
minutes, but he's not. He's playing starter minutes, but he's not starting. I mean, I guess he might start tomorrow with Okoro out. Oh my God! Holy cow! I know that they won't do it. I'm really hoping that they go Darius Garland, Dean Wade, Laurie, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen.
We're,
They roll Dean Wade at the shooting guard.
Yo, that would be so.
dude,
They need to run a 5 big lineup. They need to.
who would be the fifth? Love?
Mobley, Markkinen, Wade, or Mobley, Markkinen, Love, Allen, Taco Fall.
Taco Fall,
Fair.
man.
Taco Fall plays like a kindergartner, like legitimately, but he's so fun. I love Taco Fall.
That's such a good analogy.
He's like a third grader against preschoolers.
But all the preschoolers can ball, and he can't. All he has is his size.
Have the shooting form of Taco Fall. That's my NBA comparison. But I do feel like I've watched Brook Lopez play, and that's my shooting form. I was creating myself an NBA 2K.
If you haven't seen Jacob shooting form, me and Jacob are the
You
same.
didn't have to go there.
I have seen this man. I've been seeing this man shoot a basketball since like kindergarten. He shoots the exact same way with one hand. He shoots fade away one hand all the time. It's so funny.
He's not even that bad with it too. I think that if he learned to shoot with two hands, he would be Muggsy Bogues, sorry.
I'm not even that short.
If only.
Okay, so Cavs predictions tonight, or do you have more?
Oh yeah, no. Let's just go to Cavs predictions.
All right, so Cavs predictions not tonight, tomorrow night against the Bucks. I won't be here. You viewers don't know, I'm going on a cruise. We're recording this Friday night, which is not our usual. But
we love you guys so much, so we're willing to do it.
Yep, we're on that
The
grind.
one person who's watching.
Things pop up. Okay, so Cavs. Who's the home team?
Bucks.
Yeah, I think. Here's what I think. I think this young Cavs team. Whenever you start a sentence with young Cavs team, it means they're gonna lose. This young Cavs team is gonna learn a valuable lesson at this game. That although they are very good defensively, they can't hang with the big guys. They can't hang with the teams like the Bucks or the Nets simply because those offenses are way too overpowered. I think they'll put up a good fight. I think they'll lose.
Yeah, I kind of already kind of hinted at my prediction. I think Darius Garland plays great. I don't think, but I just think on the road in Milwaukee, I don't think a lot of the other guys are going to show up. Bucks win by 15, but Garland puts up 30, lead all scorers in a losing effort.
I think you guys are both stupid, and both of those are stupid takes. Cavs are going.
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong a lot, but that's just my prediction.
I think that the Cavs win. I couldn't tell you how close it's going to be. I think that the Cavs. Here's my guess. Cavs are going to come out strong like they usually do. They're going to come out confident. They're going to lead by double digits going into halftime. then they're going to make it a way closer game than it needs to be in the third and fourth quarters. Honest brings it to a tie game with 3 minutes left, but we managed to pull away. Cavs win, say 116 to 110.
I just don't see how the Cavs could be leading in double digits after 2 quarters. But I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong.
Will be wrong because I'm always right. None of my takes have ever been wrong.
Never.
Never.
I'm sure you haven't said anything to this podcast that could be considered a very awful thing to say. All right, so
I will apologize again for that. I meant no offense. So let's move on to the Browns talk.
okay, so the Browns this week got hit by a huge COVID outbreak. 24 players got put on the COVID list, including their 2 starting QBs, a bunch of other key players, like more than half their O-line. Two. They already lost Conklin for the year, and they lost 2 more. The Browns are in a very tough spot. The game did get pushed back to Monday at 5 o'clock, but the spot they're in is very tough. They're without their QB1, their QB2. Baker could be back by the Monday game. They're gonna be without Landry, no Natson. They're not gonna have a lot of their key defensive pieces. They're not gonna have a lot of their O-line.
I think you texted us yesterday that they had like 2 active safeties on the roster.
Yeah, they're gonna be putting Richard LeCount and MJ Stewart Jr. at safety. If you don't know those names, you're not alone because they haven't played much. We like to run a lot of 3 safety. Joe Woods does, but so they played a couple snaps. Usually Stewart. LeCount has been on the coaching staff's bad side all year, and this is his chance to shine. I'm a big LeCount fan. I watched a lot of his Georgia film.
Side note: who has their last name as LeCount?
He's a vampire.
Anyway, continue.
So I'm gonna just look up the Browns COVID list real quick.
24 in protocols.
Yeah. Hunt got put on it, but he was already gonna be out.
My fantasy team is so dumb. I legitimately cannot deal with this. It was constantly calling me a fraud, but that's okay. I still made the playoffs, and he didn't.
Okay, so here's the list. Stefanski, head coach. Running backs coach. Baker, Landry, Hill, McDowell, Johnson, Hooper, Wills, Teller, Forbes, McKinley, Natson, Harrison. And that's as of yesterday. As of today, we have a bunch more, including Keenum, and that was yesterday. Hunt, Phillips, who had just come back from bicep injury. All 3 safeties, Harrison, Delpit, and Johnson. As well as interior defensive lineman Willie McDowell. They should put Myles Garrett in one of those human protective bubbles. And so same with Nick Chubb. He's gonna get 60 carries on Monday because we can't afford to lose another player. And this is this pushback postponement to Monday is definitely a good thing for the Browns. But it makes me wonder how many of these players are actually going to be back by Monday, and how much is it going to affect the Raiders, who have players who were doubtful for a Saturday game who could be activated for a Monday game, such as Darren Waller, their star tight end.
I don't know. COVID is hitting the league like absolute truck right now. I want to talk about that more in a couple minutes, but right now I want to give I think we should give our game predictions.
Yeah.
Or score predictions. So my game prediction is 31-21 Browns. Whoever our quarterback is will throw for 3 touchdowns. Carr, I think because of our weak safety, they'll exploit us deep, and he'll throw for 350 plus yards. But a last-minute run touchdown for my favorite man on the Browns, Andy Janovich, will seal the W.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think even with a lot of these big-time players out, I think we're gonna get a good amount of them back by Monday. But the Raiders are clearly struggling. I believe they were 5-2 at one point this season.
Yeah. Now they're 6 and 7.
Now 6-7. They're clearly struggling. We still have the 3 best players on our team, and Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb. and I think honestly that's like enough. Like honestly, with the coaching that we have, even we saw it in the Pittsburgh game. Like I'm not saying I'm not trying to like discredit Stefanski, but we know we can win without him technically. So I don't think it's going to be crazy, game changer. But I think it's going to be a closer game than it would be if everyone was healthy. And I'm going to say 28-26, Cleveland Browns win.
Oh, how do you get to? Oh man, how do
Is
you
that a
get to
score,
20?
Gami?
A missed extra point by the Raiders.
28
Oh, yeah.
26.
Would that be
28.
scoregami?
No, I doubt it, but it could be.
It would not be.
Yeah.
That's like in the green range where almost everything is not a scoregami. My prediction. So I don't know if you guys know this. Nick Mullins owns the Raiders. Nick Mullins, who will likely be our starting QB on Monday, tore up the Raiders during his rookie year. I think it might have even been his first start for something like 3 touchdowns and 350 yards. But I don't know. I hope we can rely on him to do that again. But I think the Browns are gonna stick. Chubb hasn't had a great game in a while due to game script. I think Chubb's gonna run the ball. This isn't a joke. I think he's gonna run it 30 times for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Man,
I think
Honestly,
this weather is gonna be horrible. I think really we're gonna take one out of Belichick's playbook and just pound the ball. It's gonna be a lot
honestly,
of Hunt, a lot of Darnell Johnson, and Sam's favorite man, Andy Janovich.
had a funny
honestly,
joke to make.
like
but I
I really want to see Nick Chubb have a 30 carry game. Like
Yeah.
I like Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry, even Joe Mixon from time to time get these games. It's like Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb's the best running back in football. That's bias. I just think he's more efficient than everybody else. He can do everything you want a running back to do. I don't see there's not a flaw in his game. I'm not saying there's flaws in games like Jonathan Taylor. I just think Chubb just does it better, but he just doesn't get the load that Taylor or Henry gets.
Yeah.
So I think if he were to get that, then he'd be more in that conversation. He already is, but he'd be even more in that conversation.
People are starting to doubt Chubb's eliteness, and I hate that. Because the only reason he's not been having these huge games is because of game script. Because we've needed to throw the ball a lot more. But I think a really big game for Chubb would be really good for the Browns. Because that's what they need. They need to reestablish that dominant run game that they had in 2020.
think that's a good way to wrap up our Browns segment. So I think that we should talk a little bit about COVID hitting every single league right now. So there are, I think, 4 or 5 teams that have upwards of 15 players in COVID protocol. In the NBA, Shams and Woj are tweeting like it's the NBA trade deadline with how many people are entering into protocol. Isaiah Thomas played 1 game in the G League, scored 42 points with 8 assists, and promptly got signed with a hardship exemption. I think it might suck to hear it. It would definitely suck to see it. I think we might be looking at a week or 2 of no NBA games.
Yeah.
Not sure how willing Adam Silver would be to do it.
I feel like they probably at this moment they're gonna have to hardcore COVID rules because I guess it's kind of, I feel like a lot of this is like that new variant that they found recently. So because of that, I think you probably gotta. I do believe I agree with you, Sam. I think a week or 2 of no games makes sense, and then you come back from that. You slowly, work these players back, and then see where it goes from there. Because I think it's honestly, I don't want to sound like DeMarcus Cousins, but it's getting ridiculous.
I think they still got the facilities at Disney. Maybe they should send them all back there. It'll make all the stats look better too.
Disney. Sorry.
Fraud
No,
ring.
It's gonna be a Mickey Mouse season.
but on a serious note, rested LeBron is the most dangerous beast this league has ever seen. LeBron has like 2 or 3 weeks of rest. He's absolutely terrifying. That's just, I don't know. I think the Raptors have already reduced their stadium capacity to 50%. I think we're going to see a lot of other teams start to follow suit. Remember those bracelets that they had during the bubble season that tracked how close you were to people? Probably, I bet that they bring those back. 6 feet, you're in the training facilities. Maybe even mask up while you're practicing. But I don't know. I think that it's going to be a tough sell for everybody, especially people who stand to profit off of it the most, to shut it down at all. Oh, and there goes Baden. Pause for a second.
Well, a little fun fact while we're on the topic of bracelets tracking who you're close to. People are trying to I don't know, say an equivalent to the Browns quarterback situation is what happened to the Broncos last year. What happened to the Broncos last year was that they had these trackers and they willingly took them off so they could meet with a player who was high risk. I mean, they, plain and simple, they didn't follow the guidelines and they got punished for it. So to say that the Browns game shouldn't be postponed, and obviously did, people were saying that it shouldn't be postponed because the precedent was set for the Broncos game. I think it's a totally different situation.
Yeah. All right. So then, do we want to head over to Benchwarmer of the Week and then finish up with the trivia?
I think we have a little bit more time if we wanted to discuss the NFL.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
You guys want to do some? Ben, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
Do you guys want to just run through this week's games and quick predictions?
Sure, just quick predictions, just scores, nothing else.
I want to do that.
Okay.
About that.
Okay. Tomorrow night. Sorry. Hold on. Still loading.
2 days, not Saturday.
Tomorrow night's game. Patriots versus Colts. Colts.
I'm gonna say Colts 27-24.
I just think the Colts knocked them off their pedestal.
I hate the Patriots.
Send them back to earth. Titans versus Steelers. Titans.
Sadly, I think the Steelers win. I don't want them to, but I think it's gonna happen.
It's understandable. Big Ben is really good at keeping his team alive, and this is a game they need to stay alive. Panthers Bills.
Bills by 50.
I think the Bills were exposed as frauds. I still think they win.
I think it's the Panthers, and I think Cam Newton. Newton absolutely. Josh Allen. That's a funny way to spell fraud.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that Cam Newton shows a spark, and I think that they win.
I really hope so. And I don't think there's anyone in the league who doesn't want Cam to succeed. Okay, Texans Jaguars, the toilet bowl.
Oh my game is so awful. Give me the Texans though. Davis Mills will put on a masterclass.
I'm taking a 0-0 tie.
Yo, I can see a tie in this game happening. I'm not
4 straight missed field goals that could have won the game.
Kaimi Fairburn, the GOAT. I'm gonna go with the Texans as well. The redhead giraffe himself. I actually don't know if David Mills is a redhead, but he does seem like the type of guy to be a redhead.
I don't think he's a redhead.
Yeah, he's not a. Yeah, hold on. Let me check that out.
Yeah, Davis Mills is not a redhead, but I agree with you that he does make sense as a redhead.
Yeah.
All right. Cowboys Giants. Cowboys. Aiden.
What team? You glitch out for me.
Cowboys Giants.
Oh, Cowboys, easy.
Cardinals Lions. I wonder who.
Lions lose by 1.
Lions win.
The Lions are up 1 with 0 seconds left, and they attempt a field goal with 1 second left for no reason. and it gets returned for a touchdown.
Tom
Brown-
Brady. That
Ravens.
Jets, Dolphins.
that's
I think the Jets win it. I'm gonna be real. I think the Jets win.
Yeah.
They get Michael Carter back, and the Dolphins. Dolphins are on a
Stop.
streak of wins against teams that are like not that good.
And the Jets are even worse. Dolphins by 30. I'm being so serious. Dolphins by 30.
Dolphins
31
can't score 30 points.
31-1.
Okay. Bengals, Broncos.
me and Baden are gonna have words after that.
Bengals, Broncos. As a Browns fan, we have to be rooting for the Broncos here, but I do think the Bengals win it.
Yeah, Bengals win on a game-winning field goal.
Burrow has looked so good lately.
Burrows will lead. Burrows. I know we talked about it in our awards prediction pod, which you guys should go listen to. The one person who's still listening. I think we talked about it being a two-man race between like Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow. I think that Joe Burrow's just looked incredible.
It's probably a three-man race. I think you got to add Nick Bosa in there.
Nah,
Oh, yeah.
he can't. He's just not a QB. It can't.
I mean, not but like, if you're real, I mean, I guess in the award sense, no, he's not in it. But if you truly think about it, he should be in it.
No, yeah, I agree with you that he should be, but I think in the real world, non-QBs don't win those awards unless they're super good. Falcons, Niners, I think. Niners are heating up at the right time.
Debo catches 8 catches for 70 yards and runs the ball 8 times for 70 yards.
Well,
Sounds
that was
about
actually
right.
going to be my stat line prediction for Cordarrelle Patterson.
They'll just have a battle of who is the most versatile player. They won't even
Yeah.
play a football game. It'll just be Debo versus Cordero.
Debo versus Cordero. And don't forget about the versatile weapon himself, Kyle Pitts.
They got George Kittle on the other side.
That's just a game of
The
versatility.
best tight end in the NFL.
Stop.
If you disagree, you're wrong.
Stop.
If you disagree,
gonna-
you're wrong.
You're really going to see what Travis Kelce did last night?
Kittle could do that easily. Kelsey didn't break a tackle. That's the thing.
He evaded 6.
I mean,
Kittle is faster than
Kittle-
Kelsey. Kittle is faster. He would be able to do that.
Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, and George Kittle are more physically gifted than Travis Kelce.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure, but Travis Kelce's built different.
He's good, but I don't think he's the best tight end. Packers, Ravens.
Packers.
Yeah, give me the Packers.
I'd say the Packers. If
What happened to Lamar? Is he okay?
he's not going to practice, but he's a shot of playing.
Yeah, he has yet to practice this week.
Saints, Buccaneers.
Saints somehow win. Some way, somehow they win.
The Saints have never lost to Tom Brady in the regular season.
It's got to be the Buccaneers. Tom Brady. That's a funny way to say Tom Brady. Like, what? What? Are they going to practice with a QB? I just forgot the guy's name. It's the Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill is not built like that. I think that it's going to be close, but I think that Tom Brady breaks that streak.
Yeah. Taysom Hill is what Lamar haters think Lamar is.
Not bad for a running back.
Raiders, Browns. Browns.
Yeah,
Chubb takes him to town. Vikings, Bears.
Vikings.
I'm gonna go Vikings. The
what
Bears.
was it?
Bears season
Vikings,
is over. I mean, they're
Vikings,
demoralized. Vikings, Bears.
Give me the Bears. I think they showed promise in the Sunday night game. Kirk Cousins chokes in the fourth quarter. Justin Fields plays the best game of his career so far.
Love Justin Fields.
WFT, Eagles.
Eagles fans are going to be saying WTF after this game. I don't know how they're going to lose. They're somehow, some way going to lose this game without losing, more than likely,
Garrett
no tail.
Gilbert is currently in line to start for the football team.
Still, I don't know. All this Urban Meyer stuff has gotten me thinking about Dan Snyder. how he's such a terrible person, and the NFL has done like literally nothing of consequence to stop him.
Yeah,
I hate that guy. Everybody should hate that guy. Nobody likes him.
agree. And then the other primetime game, Seahawks Rams.
Rams.
Rams,
Man, I mean the Seahawks have been such a disappointment this year.
yeah,
They've been the greatest team in football because they're giving my Jets a top 5 pick.
yeah, we don't. Nobody cares about the Mid-Hawks.
I've talked
Move
about
on.
this before, but the past, present, and future for the Seahawks, it's all bleak. They face the imminent threat of losing Russ. DK's gone in 2 years. They don't have first rounders. They've got some real issues there because they're in win now mode, but they're not built to win now.
Could be a problem.
All right, are we ready to move on?
Yup.
On to our Benchwarmers of the week.
Yes, sir.
I want to give mine first, and then you can give your next one. But I have two. The first one is Daryl Bevel, new head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Already a better coach than Urban Meyer. The last day, he has not picked his kicker, lost the respect of his wide receiver room, or gone to a bar in Ohio with a woman that is not his wife. And that's a W in my book.
All right.
Anybody else want to give theirs before I give my second?
I'm gonna give one. I'm gonna give one. I feel like this guy. He lost. He lost to our team. But I'm gonna say Tyler Huntley. He played great. Honestly,
Admirable effort.
yeah, I think he definitely played well. I think he's probably gonna be another bench warmer if when we record again next week. I there's a good chance of that happening. But yeah, he played well. I think it was he had 270 passing yards.
Yeah, he brought them
Yeah.
closer than Lamar did.
Tyler Huntley is what Mike White was supposed to be.
So Mike White's got to be the biggest one-game wonder in like he's just totally.
So crazy.
Oh man! All right, and then mine. I'm gonna go with Garner Minshew. Minshew filled in for Jalen Hurts, and I mean the stat line is impeccable. 20 for 25, 240, 2 touchdowns. He did everything they asked him to do as a backup and more. This guy was given up on way too quickly by the Jaguars and their poverty coaching staff. But I mean Minshew's a baller. You gotta recognize his game. He's a baller. He's built to win football games. And I would give him a shot as a starter if I was a team that needed a QB. And he proved it. 33 to 18
Giants,
beating.
New York Giants.
Yeah.
New York Giants.
Minshew's better than Daniel Jones.
Absolutely. Daniel Jones. It's a funny way to say fraud.
Okay, Sam, your next benchmark?
Was that Baden? What was that, Baden? Were you about to say that Daniel Jones isn't a fraud?
It's a fraud. Or no, he's not even a fraud. He's just bad. It's not like anyone thought he was going to be good.
Giants fans lied to themselves and everyone every day, all the time.
Giants fans do lie to themselves. I saw. I want to tell this story real quick. So I saw this on this Instagram page that showed the Giants that they've never played a game with a winning record since 2016, and I tagged one of my favorite YouTubers on it, and he took a couple of screenshots and posted it on Twitter. That made my
that Bengal. That was so sick.
Shout out Bengal.
That's cool.
That was so crazy. Alright. No, I don't have another one. I actually like that we each picked one. That was good. I liked
Alright.
it a lot.
Trivia time.
I suppose, yeah, we are going to trivia. Let me pull it up very quickly. Alright. Yep. Okay. 1 second. Just gotta find it. Plug the socials again, guys, while I finish it.
Twitter, at Benchwarmers216, and then our TikTok, which we have not posted on yet, but make sure you follow us there. Benchwarmers _
that Wilt Chamberlain thing.
podcast.
That's wild.
And that was
Sorry.
It was such a thing to say.
No, that was definitely a thing that I said.
Yo, I'm gonna
Sure.
yo. You should put that in your as your yearbook quote. Who else is gonna score 100 besides the dead corpse of Wilt Chamberlain?
Man, why do you gotta bring that up again?
Street Staba, class of 2024.
Oh man.
What can I say? What can I say? All right. So, first one. Who was the Browns' first pick in the 1999 NFL expansion draft?
Tim Couch. No, in Spanish draft. Never mind. I'm a dummy. Never mind.
Did
I,
Jim Pine, center, Hervin McCormack, defensive end, Scott Rayberg, offensive tackle, or Damon Gibson, wide receiver?
I'm gonna go with David Gibson.
Can you say the first three again?
Jim Pine, Hervin McCormack, or Scott Rayberg?
I'm gonna go with Scott Rayberg.
That is incorrect. Is Jim Pine, the offensive lineman who eventually blew out his knee by celebrating a touchdown.
What? Yo, that's such a Browns thing to do, dog.
Yep.
That's funny.
No, that was. I actually looked up this clip before the game. But sorry, not before the game, but before we started recording the podcast. It's wild. I shouldn't be laughing at it, but that's so crazy. Right. Oh, how many playoff games did the Browns win during the 1970s? Answer: there are only three answers. It's 0, 2, or 3.
70s.
2. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2.
I'm gonna say 3. Because I can't bring myself to say 0.
Those are correct. The Browns lost to the Baltimore Colts 20-3 in 1971 and lost to the undefeated Miami Dolphins in 1972 20-14, and then we did not qualify for the playoffs the rest of the year. Oh, there's my dad. Dad, that's a great shirt. Bye.
Hey, shout out Sam. Shout out Sam's dad.
Real one. Took me to a basketball game.
Yeah. That was sorry guys. That was mortifying. All right. So, the infamous quarterback jersey is one which shows a lengthy list of Browns quarterbacks who started at least one game for the team, the overwhelming majority of which failed to succeed at all. How many names are on this list as having started a game for the team during the 2 decades 2000 and 2010?
30,
2000 to 2020.
31.
something. It's 30 something.
No, I have the options here. 25, 50, 30, or 20.
30.
30.
Yes, 30 is the correct answer. This one's a little bit outdated because I don't think it counts Case Keenum here, but Tim Couch, Robert Griffin III, Brandon Whedon, Deshaun Kaiser, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, Derek Anderson are all some pretty notable ones on there.
Yo, Deshaun Kaiser, dog.
I love Deshaun Kaiser. There was a Green Bay Packers jersey available for him for like $20, and I almost bought it.
That should be that should be like next year's if we do like a fantasy punishment. You gotta buy and wear a Deshaun Kaiser jersey.
No, I fun fact, I actually just bought a Channing Frye Suns jersey for like $25. It's the greatest purchase.
I own an orange Danny Shelton jersey, who was the Browns' first round pick in 2015. It didn't fit me until this year, and he's been off the team for 5 years.
We'll do a fantasy punishment next year, and that'll be we'll do a 3-person fantasy league, and that'll be our fantasy punishment. We have to buy a Deshaun Kaiser jersey.
So we're all gonna be scoring 200 points.
Yeah, and so I think that's a podcast. That's the last bit of trivia we had.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, man. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate
Love you all.
whether it's one person or whether it may be 50 people. Who knows? But
YouTube analytics knows.
but
We will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for all the support.